Hello everyone. Hopefully you can hear me and everything's working now. Slightly later than planned. Had a few technical issues. The camera decided just before I started that it wasn't going to work. So I had to play about with a few bits. Hopefully, can you actually hear the music at all? That seems better. Do let me know if all the audio is okay. Quite bright, that light up there, isn't it? Right, I'm hoping we're all okay now. I'm hoping the music's a good level, the microphone's a good level. You can see me because the camera's decided to turn on now. And I can get started in a minute or two. Quite dark in here as well, but I've got all the lights on that I own, so hello Jennifer, how are you today? How is the audio? Is that better now? Can you hear the music? It seemed a bit quiet before. Hopefully, although it's a bit of a strange. Yeah, that sounds better. Hopefully, can hear it a bit. Right, what about, is that better? A wee bit louder. And can you hear me okay? We're having all the technical problems this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is, I'm not quite sure. It's very quiet. That's bizarre. Is that better, music-wise? It looks a bit better to me. I'll just try and get this organised before I start so it's all good to go. Right, I am loud and clear. Is the music, you can hear the music, is it a good level? Should it be a wee bit louder? A wee bit quieter? Perfect now, good. Well, that was fun. Good afternoon, Dinah Doll, how are you today? Well, thank you, Jennifer. I was okay, and then I'm about half an hour late because I was running late anyway, and then tested everything, started up, and the main camera wouldn't switch on. So we're just, I think we're there. I feel like I've completely lost track of what I'm doing. Feel slightly lost now. But hopefully we'll get back on track quite quickly and it'll all be okay. So good, music's fine, right, that's good. So hopefully I won't need to do anything else with that now and we can just go for it. We drink a juice. Right, so today the plan is I'm going to make a veggie ramen and I'm going to do a soy and ginger tofu to have with it. So it's one that I've done a veggie ramen on my blog before, but it was a very, very simple kind of throw together, ready in 15 minutes one. I've seen, obviously a ramen is quite a complicated dish and there are quite a lot of different ways to do it. So I've made it slightly more complicated. I've got a wee list of what I'm planning on doing, what I'm hoping on to do. So I'm just gonna get started with it and we'll just add bits and maybe adapt things as we go and see how we go on. But at least all the technical stuff seems to be working okay. Good. Right, so I'm just going to get started. So the first thing, hello Chef Tony, how are you today? Nice to see you. Are you up early? I can't think what time it is there just now. I think it is early, isn't it? Party Squad! Thank you very much for the raid. Party Squads, how are you today? How was your stream? Hello Cloud! Happy Tuesday, if I can remember what day it is. How are we all? It's my Monday. Ah, of course, already got my sleep. Good. So you're ready to go for the day then? Thank you very much, Party Squads, for the raid. Good timing. It took me about half an hour to get here, just because I couldn't get any of my technology to work. But we're here. I'm about to make, start making a veggie ramen with some soy and ginger tofu. So hopefully you're all hungry. Hopefully you'll stick around. How was your squad, Party Squad? Your squad. I'm sorry, I'm struggling a wee bit today. How was your stream, Party Squad? Did you enjoy it? Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a quick kind of, your squad's always good. Yeah, I'm glad you've got a good squad. Oh dear, it's going to be one of those streams. Just, yeah, if I talk a lot of rubbish, just stick with me. You really enjoyed it, good. What were you doing? Were you gaming? I think I was in for about 3 minutes earlier, and then I realised I had to get on and get prepared for this. What game were you playing? Nice. Okay, so I'm going to start with my stock. So I'm going to use a couple of onions, 3 carrots, and a leek. And I've got some very interesting carrots that I got delivered. So I've got an orange one, a yellow one, and a peach one, which is quite exciting. League of Legends. I don't know much about games, to be honest. But as long as you enjoyed it, that's the main thing. So. Right, so I have seen recently that apparently the best way to get a good stock is you want to actually put even like the onion skins in the stock as well, and that helps you to get a nice colour, apparently. So I've never done it before. I'm going to give it a bash and see how it goes, because we're going to drain these off at the end anyway, so they're not actually going to be in the soup at the end. And what has everybody been up to today? Anything exciting? Any exciting evening plans? Get that oil. Right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to my pot, and I will show you my pot in just a minute. I'll show you my chopping first. Down a wee bit. There we go. So I'm just going to wash the rest of these, and then I'm just going to chop them up very, very roughly. I'm going to give the carrots a good wash because they're covered in dirt, but I'm going to keep the skins on. I'm not going to peel them because I think you get quite a lot of flavour from the skins as well. So we shall keep them on, and hopefully that will be the case. And I can actually show you the proper colours of these in a minute, because they do look really cool. I tried growing these in the garden last year, and I had purple ones as well, but they were all absolutely tiny. I think I put far too many in one pot, so nothing much came of them. No problem at all. Thank you for the raid and enjoy your lurk. Oh, thank you very much for your subscription, Jennifer. Much appreciated. And if you saw it, I managed to get my little alert going. Quite pleased with that. So you can actually see these now. Look at the colours of them. How cool is that? And these are all carrots. So I'm quite impressed by that. Okay, so I'm just going to chop these up. This way. Into chunks, and it's just all going. Wow, Cloud Mountain. They are really cool, aren't they? I've never seen a carrot. I mean, that's like neon yellow. I've never seen a carrot that colour before. Or that colour, to be fair. At first I thought it was a parsnip, but I'm fairly sure it is a carrot. I mean, it was on the same like stalk things as the carrots, so I'm assuming that's what it is. Right, so these are all getting chopped up roughly, and we're going to pop these in the pot, and then I'll chop up the carrots and my leek and pop them in the pot as well. I'll just top and tail the carrots because the tops and tails do look a bit odd. And we'll just chop these down. That's such a strange looking carrot. Do you think is it meant to be that colour? Or is it like not ripe yet? I can't think what colour carrots are before they're ripe. I'm not sure. Oh, I like the colour of this one. Oh, right. Can somebody who's subscribed, can you do me a favour and see if you can use my emotes yet? I managed to get some, but apparently they're pending approval. So I don't know if you can actually use them yet or if I have to wait. Put down a wee bit. I think it depends on the variety of carrot. Yeah, that could be the case actually, I don't know. It seemed weird to me that they all came on the one, like the one kind of stalk thing. I can tell they aren't available. Ah, right, okay, that's good to know. So they must, I don't know how long they're going to take to get approval, but at least they're on their way. Hopefully not much longer. Get a wee bit of heat in there, and then I'm also going to, if I can reach around, get some garlic and some fresh ginger, and we'll pop some of that in as well. Yeah, I'll pop the onions in first. Show you this actually now. That's a bit more interesting probably. So quite often if you get like a ramen recipe, quite often they'll say to make the stock over like literally as long as you can, and to have it sort of, I mean it's almost days that you're making it rather than hours. Obviously I'm not going to do that to you. I think you sit on here for hours just wait to get some soup. I'm hopefully going to get as much flavour in it as I can, but obviously the longer you have that on cooking, the more flavour you're going to get. And then I really enjoy peeling garlic with a spoon. It's such an easy way to do it, and there's just something very satisfying about it. Well, that's definitely making some nice noises over there. Oh, I really want my emotes to be available now. That's sad. Okay, so for the garlic, well, so far I've got 2 onions in there. I've got 3 carrots. I'm going to put 1 leek in. And then I've got, what's that, maybe about an inch of ginger. I might put more in though. And then I'll probably do maybe 3 cloves of garlic. Maybe 2, 3 seems quite a lot. Because these are quite big cloves in this. Oh, the smell from that already. Pop in my carrots. And then I've got my ginger that I've just kind of very roughly chopped up. I might actually put a wee bit more in. Again, I was forgetting and I've peeled it. Well, I started peeling it and then realised I probably don't actually need to because I'm going to be draining this stuff out anyway. And I know anyway, if I make like a ginger and apple shot, it's more, like the flavour's more intense and more kind of that scratchy way if you leave the skin on. So I'm just going to leave the skin on and just fire it in like that. Okay, and then we want some garlic. Yeah, and as I said, I'm going to do 2 cloves of garlic because these are quite big chunky garlic cloves. And just squash them and throw them in. There we go. And you can see they're starting to brown off already a little bit. So what I want here is I want to get a nice bit of colour on them, and then we can fill it up with water and kind of start to reduce it. Oh, I'm dropping it all over the floor. So obviously this is a veggie ramen and it is vegan, but if you're doing like a chicken ramen or a pork ramen or a beef ramen, you can do the stock with like a chicken carcass or a bit of beef or something, and you'll get loads of that flavour in. But that's basically what we're trying to attempt to get here, but just with veggies. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some dried mushrooms. I do have 2, oh there they are. Okay, so I have some dried shiitake mushrooms and some dried porcini mushrooms. Now, these say oriental on them, so I think I'm going to go with these. Right. Have I not used? Oh, I've not opened these yet. Wow, that's strong. So I'm gonna get, I think, about maybe 4 of these. I'll do 5. 4 and 1 for luck. And then you just want to rehydrate them by soaking in boiling water. It says for up to 40 minutes, but I can kind of cook it in the stock, so I won't need to do it for as long as that. And then with those mushrooms, they'll give quite a strong, almost kind of meaty flavour to it, so they are quite a good thing to have if you want to make like a nice stock or to put in like a risotto or something. They work really well, and they're quite handy to have because they don't, as far as I'm aware, they don't go off. No, not anytime soon, 2024, so you'll have them for a while. See how this is going. Quite loud. Oh, I've just realised you can see my head in there. We're definitely getting a good bit of colour. See on some of them in particular. Where are you? There you are. That is getting a nice good colour to this. And that's where all the flavour will be. Oh, I nearly forgot the leek. That was silly. Again, I'll just chop this up. I'm quite happy with that. Very roughly. And fire it in as well. Just need to watch for leeks. I really like the taste of leeks, but I find that when you're preparing them, they're always so full of dirt. And it really annoys me because it feels like so much work trying to get them clean to use them. I think that's good. I think I might need to turn this down. Good. Oh, thank you very much for your follow, Theatre Amy. I like that name. Are you an actress? Do you do theatre? Right, so I'm just going to add some boiling water to my mushrooms and just let them sit and rehydrate in that. Again, on the container for it, it said to do it for 40 minutes. But I'm not going to do it for that long because it's going to cook in the stock anyway. So I'll just leave it for as long as I feel like it until I need them. Wow, they've definitely got a strong smell to them though. A good smell, but it's strong. And then add the leeks as well. I mean, how good does that look already? You can almost tell that that's going to taste nice just because of all the colours. An equity stage manager. Ah, very nice. Whereabouts do you do that? That sounds very interesting. And does that mean that you're not at work at the moment, that you're having to kind of wait and see when you're able to go back? I saw recently that there's a show coming back, I think in London somewhere, but it's it's in one of the main theatres, I think, but they've only got, is it like an 1/8 of the seats that you're allowed to book, obviously because of social distancing and stuff. But they showed a picture, was it maybe on the news? I'm not sure where I saw it, to be honest, but wherever it was, they showed a picture of it. And it just looked so strange, like the place was obviously going to be empty, but you think, well, at least they're able to kind of start getting going again. Oh, this looks so good. Oh, making all sorts of noises as well. Right, so now to that, we're going to add a load of boiling water. I'm going to say about a litre. We'll start with a litre and see how we go. I might need more than that. In fact, let's say 1.5 litres because that's what my kettle says. Yeah, and that doesn't seem like a lot. I'm just going to boil that up for speed. For the Orlando Shakespeare Theatre. Oh, amazing. Well, I do hope that it won't be too long before you can go back and before the theatres start kind of opening up again. Hopefully they'll find a way to do it. Because you would think as well, if they're... I always think of like cinemas being quite similar to a theatre. So if they're able to start opening cinemas, surely they can start with the theatres as well. Because you would think the audience is such a core. Yeah, so you couldn't even really do, like it wouldn't really work to do one sort of like almost like an online show or something. And if you've only got a very small amount of people in the audience, it would probably be quite off-putting if you're standing up there and there's like 5 people in front of you. But hopefully it won't be too long. Also, it smells delicious. Thank you, it does. It does smell quite good. That's the thing, you want to kind of not burn it, but almost, because you're kind of wanting to char the veg. I mean, look at that piece. How good does that look? So you're wanting to get as much colour into it without burning it as you can. And obviously, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a nice kind of brown layer at the bottom. So when we pour in the boiling water, we'll get rid of all of that, and that'll all be flavour in the stock. So I'm going to grab our water now and just fill this up. Oh, for goodness sake. I think I could do a bit more than that actually. So that's about 1.5 litres. And that's not nearly enough. I think I'll do maybe another litre. So the thing is, obviously you want the flavours to be as strong as possible, but you also want to make sure you make enough, because if it's really tasty, you'll want to have a few portions of it. And then once we've got all of the water in there, I'm going to add, I love charred onions. See, like charred onions with, well, it doesn't really fit with this because it's vegan, but charred onions with a steak or even on a sandwich, I find them really, really nice. Or to do like charred onions in a gravy with some sausages or vegan sausages. Oh, so good. I do apologise if this is loud, but everything is falling over in my breath. Right, and then to this, just to let the stock do what it's doing, I'm going to add a dash of soy sauce, onion gravy is the best. Oh, it really is. Onion gravy with mash. I'm trying to think. No, not beans, just onion gravy and mash. I could have that just for my dinner, and I wouldn't need anything else. I'd be more than happy. And then we've got some, so I've put some soy sauce in. I've got some, can you see that? I'm going to tip it out if I do it that way. Some vegetarian fish sauce. So I've been looking for this for a really long time, because obviously fish sauce isn't vegetarian. Is it oysters it's made from, I think? But this one is made from seaweed. So it's got a similar kind of salty flavour, but I find it smells really, really nice. I find fish sauce can sometimes smell like so overpowering, and if you put a tiny bit too much in, you can't eat it because it's so strong flavoured. But I think this stuff is much, much nicer than fish sauce. Fish sauce. Hello Sarah, how are you today? Good morning. Or no, not good morning. Is it good morning? I'm so lost with the time zones. Happy Monday or Tuesday, whatever it is, whatever. Right, I'm gonna add the rest of my water to this. So now we're gonna have, let me see, so is that about 2 litres? I think I might stop at 2 litres because I want to make sure I'm getting as much flavour in as possible. If I had longer to cook it, then I could probably, that'll do. Yeah, if I had longer to cook it, I could put more in, because obviously you're going to get more of the flavour through it, but since I've not got a huge amount of time, that'll be about 2 litres with all the veg in. And hi Popcorn, how are you? Thank you for the clips that you did of my last video. Oh, and thank you very much for your subscription, that's much appreciated. Did you see what I did with your clip? I was so pleased with myself. You really like leek, so do I. I think it's very underrated. So that wasn't deliberate, oh well. I appreciated it anyway. Right, so in here now we have 2 onions, 1 leek, 3 carrots, all very interesting colours, 2 litres of boiled water, how much? About a tablespoon of soy sauce, but 2 teaspoons of mirin, and about a teaspoon of vegetarian fish sauce, very roughly, but obviously we'll leave this just to kind of boil away, and I can taste it later on and see if it needs anything else, or if it's missing anything, or if I've completely forgotten anything. So I'm just going to leave that there to do its thing. The mushrooms, you can actually see already that the water is starting to discolour from the mushrooms. They're still quite hard, so I'm going to leave them in there just to soak for a bit longer. And then once they're a wee bit softer, we'll chop them up and pour the mushrooms and the water into the stock, because the water will have a load of flavour in it as well. Right, I feel like I'm almost, well, I felt like I was back on track, and now I feel like I'm a wee bit lost again. The stream didn't start well, but we're nearly there. Shiitake, yes. Little shiitake, I've put them away, but little dried shiitake mushrooms. I've never actually used these ones before. I've also got some porcini mushrooms, and I have used them because it was open, but I can't remember what I used them for. I've definitely used them for something though. Right, so while we're waiting for that to do what it's doing, I'm going to do the tofu and kind of marinate it so that it can just lie in it, the marinade, and get all the flavours. This is going to happen quite a lot today. I'm just going to zone out. Right, do you want to see me marinating the tofu? Probably. You can open this over here so I don't cut my hands open. Okay. Hello, Grievous Mink. How are you today? Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Oh, the smells from that. And I can't see it anymore. I've just, every time I do that, I'm like, yeah, you're getting a lovely picture of the top of my head. It feels like it's got all of the, like the almost burnt bits from the bottom of the pot. And that'll be mixing into the stock and getting lots of flavour as well. Good, I'm glad to hear it. I'm gonna do it this way and then I can show you. So this is my chunk of tofu. I'm gonna get probably just a bowl. I want a bowl or a bag. I feel like an old lady today. I'm not going to moan about it too much, but I think I've actually broken my back. I'm sure it's not actually broken, but it's really sore. And every time I like kneel down to pick something up, it kind of seizes up and then I can't get back up again. So I do feel like an old lady, and I don't have any kitchen roll to press the tofu. You don't actually have to press this tofu because it is, I think it's like pre-pressed. So you don't actually have to do anything with it, but I like to just press it again, just very gently. Because you can see there's a little bit of liquid that comes out. Never mind. Yeah, I could. I mean, that's it. When I got that bowl out, like I could just stay here and do the rest of the stream from down here. That's actually why I've already got my pans out ready and my pot was there already because I thought I can't keep bending down or I'm going to end up just sitting on the floor eventually. Chiropractic, I know. I think I'm going to give it a day or two because it only really started being sore yesterday. So, and it does feel a wee bit better today. So I'm going to hold off. And if it's not better in a day or two, then I'll maybe go and see about getting it sorted. And I just need to be careful because a cat's decided to lie and sleep behind me. So it's possible that I might fall over him as well. I think I like to moan about a broken back. I think so, but it seems a bit cheeky if it's like literally I've just sprained it. But good plan, yeah. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure I'll be fine. I just have to suck up and stop complaining. Right, so I'm just going to quite thinly slice the tofu. Not too thinly because I did slice it really thinly a couple of streams ago and it started kind of falling apart. So I'm going to leave it slightly chunkier, but not too chunky. Because the idea with this is quite often if you get a ramen, it's, oh, nearly dropped that on the floor. It's like pork slices that you get with it. So the idea with this is to kind of replicate the shape, because obviously it's not going to replicate the taste or anything, but if we can get a kind of similar shape going. And I'm going to fry this off, so I'm going to marinate it in soy sauce and ginger, leave it for as long as we've got, and then fry it off in a pan to get it kind of almost crispy. And then it'll sit on top of our ramen. So there we've got all our wee chunks. And I can just pop all of that in the bowl. And then I should really have done more ginger. Can you make tofu crispy? You can. So tofu, I'm quite new to the world of tofu. I don't even really know why I hadn't tried it. I just never really fancied it because it always looked a bit strange. So I thought, not sure that's for me. Until we've started eating a bit more vegetarian stuff, a bit more vegan stuff. And tofu is quite a good one to use as like a substitute for things. And I always feel sometimes if you just have a plate of vegetables, it's missing something for me. I need like the meat bit. So I find tofu works really well with that. So what you can do a few different things to make it crispy. So the marinade that we're doing is, once I fry it, it's not going to be crispy. It's just going to, not quite crispy, but it's going to just sort of sear the surface of it. and just give it a nice bite almost. Or what you can do is, if you marinate it, you could then coat it in a tiny bit of like cornstarch or flour and fry it like that. That will make it slightly crispy. And then my favourite way to do it is if you make a bit of a batter, quite a thick batter, with some flour, some water, and then you can add like paprika, garlic powder, that kind of thing. Coat it in that, and then get some cornflakes, crunch up the cornflakes, coat the tofu with the batter in the cornflakes, and then shallow fry it. It goes really crispy, and it's so nice like that. And actually, if I can do it like that, I prefer that to like chicken or something. And it's almost like little kind of tofu nuggets. Really good. So if you want to try and like tofu, I would definitely recommend trying to make it that way, because I think that's definitely my favourite way to do it. Or another way I like to do it is if you're making like a miso soup and you've just got some miso paste, just to chop that into little squares, and it takes on quite a lot of the soup flavour, and it's quite nice like that as well. But I'm quite enjoying kind of experimenting with it a bit, because I do actually really like the taste of it. I normally really enjoy peeling garlic, but I'm struggling today. I'm not quite sure why. I'm just struggling in general. If you've just joined us, I think I was about 40 minutes late because I came on, I tested all of my equipment before I started, pressed start streaming, and the main camera, that one there, wouldn't turn on. So slightly late, struggling anyway. But I feel like we're almost back on track. This music is helping me work. Oh, I'm glad I could do that for you, Popcorn. I'm not quite sure. So I did my first few streams. I'd found a load of music just on like YouTube, like the copyright free stuff. I was just using that, and I've just discovered this Pretzel Rocks thing. But the playlists on there, you can get some really good music, and then all of a sudden you get some really random songs. But it's a bit different, and if it's helping you work, then that can only be a good thing. What time is it where you are? Because you're Canada, but what time is it there? The last one. Noon. Nice. So is this song not quite as productive for you? Right, so I've peeled all the ginger. I'm just gonna slice it up quite thinly, and then I'll chop it into wee bits. And then we'll add this to our tofu with some soy sauce. I've got no idea what this song is. Oh dear. We'll get a new one coming though, so maybe it'll be better. And then this is all going on top of the tofu. I absolutely love the taste of ginger. I never used to, but I think it's one of these things, as I've got a bit older, I could have it with everything. I love like the really fiery ginger shots you get, that it kind of scratches your throat because it's so strong. Or like a good fiery ginger beer. Or what's the alcoholic one, the Krabbies, it's good as well. There's just something quite refreshing and quite, I think as well, because you assume it's healthy because it's like one of these, they're not one of these like old wives' tales that if you're not well you should have like slices of ginger in hot water and that'll basically cure you of whatever you've got. Although my mum used to do that to me with honey, and now I cannot stand the stuff. But I'm still okay with ginger. ginger tea is good for nausea. I did not know that. That's handy to know, because I do get that sometimes, and normally if I'm looking for a tea, if I'm not feeling that great, I'll tend to go for peppermint tea, just because that, I think because with IBS they always say, right, well, you should, like peppermint capsules, peppermint tea, that's what you should be having. But that's good to know, because I actually prefer the taste of ginger tea, and I've always got lots of ginger, so I don't want to use all my soy sauce. So I use, I don't know if you can see that. So it's gluten-free soy sauce, tamari, but I'm really struggling to get it anywhere just now. So I'm trying to use it sparingly so I don't run out. Hello, Sophia the Hobbit, how are you today? Nice to see you. Use it when I had morning sickness when pregnant. That's a very good tip. I'm going to remember that. Thank you, Sarah. And I could see why, yeah, because even the smell of it, it just smells like, yeah, there's something kind of fresh about it. And I think maybe because it's quite strong, it'll kind of overpower any like nauseous feeling. Excited I caught your stream. So am I. That was the problem when I was doing my my early morning streams. It was sort of 10 o'clock here, but it was the middle of the night everywhere else. So I thought I'll play about with it, see what I prefer. And I think for me it works quite well, because if I do this, then I've got a really nice dinner. So far so good. Right, so I can show you that quickly. So that's literally just some soy sauce and some chopped up ginger. And I'm just going to kind of leave that to sit until we're ready to fry it. I can tidy up a wee bit. Oh, a quick look at it. Oh, even the colour of that broth. Stream super late because of the kids' bedtime. That's it. You have to try and work around everybody. But I am glad you could join us today. Okay, so now I'm going to have a wee look at our mushrooms, see how they're doing. I would say they feel pretty good. So we've got our little dried shiitake mushrooms, which are now nice and bendy again. And I'm just going to chop these up roughly and pop them into the stock as well. I think I'll just half them. And then the nice water that's looking nice and kind of brown, that's going to go in as well. Sophia, how did you get on with your curry cookies? I watched most of the stream and then I missed the end of it. What I saw, they looked amazing. And I'm going to add the water as well. And I can show you that quickly. How good does that look? Right, I've got mirin here, and I don't know why, but mirin just seems to stick to everything, and it just gets sticky stuff everywhere. So this is our stock so far. So how long has that been cooking? What time are we at? Maybe just about half an hour. It's not been on for too long, and it's already getting a really nice colour. I think I'm going to turn it up slightly and kind of get it to start reducing a wee bit more. It turned out pretty okay. I always have issues with colour bleeds and where it showed up days later. Yeah. See, I do enjoy making biscuits and stuff. I don't do it very often, but I do enjoy it. But I just find that I'm not good enough at like piping. So if I try and make it look pretty, or to try and like use colours and stuff, it just ends up a mess. So I very much try and keep it natural because otherwise it looks worse if I try and decorate it than if I just leave it as it. Kids ate one today. Good. Well, I hope they enjoyed it then. No worries, Sarah. Thank you very much for coming on. I'll probably see you later and have a good meeting. Well, I'll see you guys later if I can stay up long enough. That's the thing. I think I've got a lot of American streamers that I watch and I really enjoy now. But they start at like midnight here. And I mean, I need my sleep. I'm not getting any younger. Right, so let me try and think what I'm doing now. Okay, so right, so as I said, if you didn't hear me to begin with, I have got a recipe for a quick and easy ramen on my blog already, but because, I mean, I think I made that one in maybe about half an hour, but because I can take a bit more time on it today, I thought I'm going to make it a bit more interesting, hopefully get a bit more flavour in it. So I've done a bit of research, and one thing I'm going to try and make is it a tare, I think, Tare, but it's like a little like intense flavour that you put at the bottom of the bowl before you put the broth in. So we're going to give it a bash and see how we go with it. What time is it now? Here it is 5:30 in the evening. So not too far off dinner time. So for, what else have I to do? Hold on. Right, so I need to get all my veg prepped. I then want to sort the noodles and make this tare thing. I tried to get some miso paste, but for some reason my supermarket had like no Asian-y things. I managed to get, I mean, I think it is just miso paste. I got this stuff. I've only ever used like a little jar of miso paste before. I'm assuming it's going to be quite similar. Oh, I mean, it feels a lot more liquidy. In fact, hold on, I think I might have some miso paste in the fridge. After all that. I should really put my mic off for this because it's so loud in here. Nah. Oh no, hold on. There we go. That's what we wanted. So this is the stuff I normally use. There's not a huge amount in it. It's nice and strong. There's not a lot in it, so I might need to use one of these as well, but we'll see how we go. I've used miso paste once. I have used it quite a lot now actually, because I realised that to make like a miso soup, it's so easy and so tasty. And see if it's winter or autumn and you just want something really like warm and comforting, you can basically just throw some of that into a pot of boiling water, add some chopped up tofu, some spring onions, and you've got a really nice soup. So if you like a quick soup, I would definitely recommend. Yeah, we're getting a bit more of a boil on that, so that's good. Right, I'm going to leave that till the end because apparently what you do with that is you take some of the miso paste, some soy sauce and some mirin in a bowl and add some of the stock and then kind of mix it through, and then you put that in the bottom of your bowl when you're serving, put the stock on top and then put all your other bits and pieces, apparently. I mean, I think it depends also whereabouts you're from exactly, like what kind of ramen you make, but I really like the miso flavour in the soup. It just makes it almost makes it a bit creamier. Yeah, because it's just soybeans, so I do think it is quite a nice addition. You don't have to, and the recipe that I've done on the blog doesn't have it, but but I think I prefer it with it. So I think now what I'll do is I'll prep my veg, because that'll take a wee minute. I might need to get a seat. And look at that, it's like a bunch of flowers. Wee bit excessive. Right, so I'm going to chop up, I'll say 4 big spring onions. I've also got some little mushrooms, and then I've got, oh, thank you very much for your follow. That's right, I'm a gamer. Again, that's a good name. We've got some really good names going on today, I like it. I hope you're well. Thank you for following and for joining us today. And hopefully you enjoy a veggie ramen. Right, so I've got 4 spring onions. I'm going to just chop these up quite finely. Mongoose 12, good morning from California. Nice. Well, good evening just about from Scotland. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Nice to have you here. I hope I'm not making you too hungry if it's still quite early. Just enjoying watching so far. My husband has IBS. Not that sounded like it was a good thing. I fully understand his pain. Yeah, so that's if you don't know, that's how I started out. So I've been doing a food blog for, every time I have to work this out, 4 years. So since 2016, basically because I was diagnosed with IBS about 8 years ago and kind of struggled with all the different intolerances and things that I had, and got into cooking a lot more, and was like, I enjoy trying to find things that are tasty but don't upset me. So that's kind of why I started the food blog. And recently I've done a couple of kind of Facebook lives and things and really enjoyed them, so I thought I'll give streaming a go. So yeah, so I am gluten intolerant. I'm also chickpea intolerant, which is a bit of a strange one. I can't have a lot of caffeine. I can't have sweeteners. I shouldn't have too much onion and garlic together. I can't have too much broccoli. So there's quite a lot of different things. So it's quite, I really enjoy playing about with food, trying to find things that, especially if there's people with multiple intolerances, or if you're gluten-free and vegan, that can be quite restrictive. So trying to come up with different things that lots of people can enjoy without having that, oh God, am I going to feel okay after this kind of thing. I just afraid to toast you're good. Good. That sounds good though. I'm jealous. Yum. I love your accent, by the way. Thank you. It's so funny. So many people have said that, but I think it's one of these things, because it's my accent, I'm not a fan. And I don't think it's a strong accent, but a lot of people have said that they struggle to understand what I'm saying. And I do feel like I'm kind of dulling it down a little bit, because I know that there are people in here that might not understand me. I'm just going to chop off all the wee kind of dead bits. So how long has your husband had IBS? That's right, I'm a gamer. And how does he deal with it? Like, is he okay with it now? Does he kind of know what he can and can't eat? Or does he still kind of struggle with food? As long as I've known him, I think, yeah. It is quite often it's just that you're diagnosed quite young and that's you. You just have to kind of get on with it. Which I think is a frustrating thing, because you don't get any real help with it. I understand you perfectly. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I used to listen to Funeral for a Friend a lot. So did I, but I can't think. They may well have been Scottish. They may well have been. I'm going to Google that. I wonder where they were from. Oh, they're Welsh. Because I did wonder, I thought, because as soon as Scotland has like a band, we're quite proud of it. Like with Travis or Lewis Capaldi, it's quite a big deal for us if somebody big comes out of Scotland. The singer sounds just like me. Maybe the singer is from Scotland then. But that's good, I'm glad you can understand me. That always makes my life a wee bit easier. Just recently been eating more foods that are less bloating and gluten-free. That's good. And I always find, I was saying earlier, I find that peppermint tea is a really good one. That if you do have a lot of bloating, get a peppermint tea in a hot water bottle. And that's normally what I use to try and calm everything down again. But yeah, I've been gluten-free for about 3 years, something like that. And to be honest, I'm so much better for it, so much better. And I think I've got to the stage where I don't miss anything now. At first I really struggled because I was like, oh, I just want a regular pizza. And I do sometimes still have those days, but on the occasion I have been glutened, as we call it, that gluten has somehow snuck into my diet and I'm not quite sure where it came from. And it's made me feel so unwell that I know it's not worth it. So I'm quite happy just trying to find some nice gluten-free dishes, substitute some things, and know that I'm not going to make myself unwell. Still bloating and discomfort. Nice. Has he heard of the low FODMAP diet? Because it's one that I have done before. I can send you a link because I've got an online program to it. I'm not selling, I promise. But I've done an online program for it, and it's a diet that you can use if you've got IBS, if you've been diagnosed with IBS, and it helps you pinpoint, because obviously people, like with IBS, everybody's so individual that no one can say, right, well, don't eat this, 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 and this, because they don't know exactly what it is that your stomach's not good with. So the low FODMAP diet, it's quite a complicated one, but I did it for, well, how long was it? About 10 weeks, about 3 years ago, and it's made a huge difference. And I now know what I can and can't eat and what combinations of things I can't eat. So it might be something to have a wee look into. And if you want, I can send you the link to the program that you could have a wee look at. Oh, my chat's gone, hold on. We hobbits are good at understanding all the creatures, that's it. That's ideal. Although I wonder if I got someone on who had a proper thick Glaswegian accent, I think it'd be interesting to see if anyone understood them, because I don't think my accent's very strong at all. I love Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I think they're too long. But that's just me. My problem is if I start watching a long film, I'll fall asleep. I just can't do it. No matter how exciting and how interesting the film is, I'll fall asleep. Gluten can be so bad, worse than a bag. Oh, because of course, popcorn, you're celiac, aren't you? And it's horrific. People don't understand, but it affects everything. Like, it makes you so tired, it makes you so sore, your brain just stops working, and it's not a nice experience at all. So the more you can do to avoid it, the better. Worse than a bad hangover, yeah, definitely. And sometimes it can last a lot longer as well. Doing a paleo type, I've heard of a few people on a paleo diet and they all seem to like it. Trying to be gluten-free in a household that loves bread, yeah. And that's the thing, but I think, I don't know if it's the same where you guys are, but there are so many gluten-free options now that there's very little that I find that you can't get a substitute for. So I don't really feel like I miss out on anything, which is good, because I know that my gran was diagnosed celiac probably about 25 years ago, and she, like when she was diagnosed, gluten-free stuff was horrific. She used to get given bread in a can, like literally a tin of bread, and she would get little rolls that were like little rocks, and that was all they could give her because that was all there was. but there are so many things now that you think it could be much worse. At least we've got a bit of variety, and apart from, I would say, a croissant and a proper good gluten-free pizza, those are the only two things I think, oh, that would be quite nice, but I'm sure we'll get to it. Yeah, plus that's it. It does make you a wee bit more adventurous with what you cook, because you kind of think, right, I'll try some different things. I can't have that, I'll maybe try that instead, and adapt what we make to suit. Oh, excuse me. Splitting headache. 2 days, yep. Yeah, it's horrific. Never get gluten anymore, it takes up, yeah. That's it. I think as well, at first, you maybe you don't realise just how bad it can be. And you think, oh, if I just have a little bit, it'll be absolutely fine. Like, it's not going to have a big effect, but it really can. And obviously it's really bad for you, so you're better just to try and stay away from it, and then you won't make yourself ill. So it doesn't blend because gluten and flour. Thing I avoid without trying. Yeah. And it's funny because a lot of people kind of do. I suppose with the paleo, it'll be kind of gluten-free things that you'll be having anyway. But I just know that it makes me feel so much better. So why would I eat something that's going to make me feel really unwell? Because I'm not actually celiac. Although I think I probably am, because my mum, my aunt, and my gran are all celiac, and I've got gluten intolerance. So I think it's going to come at some point. But it doesn't make a difference to me anyway, because I don't eat gluten, and I'm not going to, because it doesn't agree with me. Win-win, right? Exactly. That's it. That's it. We all could be much worse off. So really nothing to complain about. Right, I've lost what I was doing again. Veg. Okay, so I've done my spring onions. So that was 4 spring onions I've just chopped up, and they're just going to kind of get sprinkled on the top. Once we get to that stage, the broth smells incredible. There's gluten-free beer salt as well, exactly. Although I feel quite sad for you guys across the pond, because I'm pretty sure, I don't think you can get them over there, but there's a gluten-free beer that you can get in the UK. It's called Jubel. So it's Jubel, and they do like fruity beers, and they've got a grapefruit one, an elderflower one, and a peach one, and they are the nicest beers in general that I've ever had. So if you find them and you can get them, definitely try them. Oh, hydrate, thank you. I need to hydrate today. And some very strong painkillers, so I need to hydrate. Cheers. Oh, I needed that. Yeah, you should. If you find them, you should definitely try them. And I would recommend the grapefruit one's my favourite. Although they are really nice. They're a bit sweeter, so if you're not a fan of a sweet beer, maybe not. But I think they're quite. Because what do you guys call a shandy? So if you've got like half beer, half lemonade, what's that called? We call it a shandy. So it's more similar to that. It's slightly stronger than that, but it's that kind of idea. Oh, thank you very much. Quite a few people have said that. And to be fair, it is a nice kitchen. I'm very lucky. It's a good one for cooking in, because there's a lot of space, which is good. And I do need it when I cook, because I'm good at making a mess. So the more space I've got, the better. Now, I don't normally like washing mushrooms, but I've run out of kitchen roll. I'm doing really well today. So I'm just going to give them a quick rinse. They just get so slimy when you wash them. That's horrible. And then I'm going to need to see what other veg I want to put on this, because I wanted radishes, because I really like the colour of radishes with the ramen, but I couldn't get any. So that's out the window, so I'm going to need to see what else I've got. I think they're called shandies too. I think it's S-H-A-N-D-Y, shandy, I think. That's good to know though if it is the same. It's not then, I see it's not. I know, that's it. Yeah, I've gone from some very small kitchens to this one, so very lucky, and I do enjoy it. I do get a lot of use out of it as well, so that's good. I would feel bad if I had such a nice kitchen and didn't actually cook, because that just seems like a waste. Thank you very much for your follow, Premier316. Nice to have you here. I hope you're well today. Oh, I feel like I'm going to get a seat soon. Right, so I've got a little punnet of mushrooms, and I think I'm just going to quarter these. And again, these are just going to kind of sit, although half them. Half looks nicer, so I'm just going to half them. And again, these are just going to kind of sit, I think, no, I'll pop them in the soup just to cook them through very briefly, just before we serve. Because I'm not a big fan, I know you can eat them raw, but I'm not a big fan of raw mushrooms. It seems weird to me. I think possibly because I only found out recently that you can eat them raw. So it still seems a bit wrong. It's like, nah, I'll cook them. And then I'll maybe do maybe a little bit of grated carrot for the top. And I've got some coriander. What other veg have I got? I think that might be it. And then we'll do noodles to go in the broth. And I'm sure this probably isn't the most authentic ramen recipe. But as you can tell, Scotland's not known for its ramen. So this is very much just, this is how I make it. And even then, I put more effort into this than I normally would. Normally I would just fire everything in a pot and hope for the best. I'll show you this. Can you see how I love mushrooms? Do you eat them raw, Sophia? Or do you, because I do really like mushrooms, but cooked. I couldn't, I would struggle just to pick one of them up and munch on it, because that just seems bizarre to me. And I don't know what, I feel like you'd almost, I don't know, I just feel like that would make you ill, I'm not sure. We're opposite eating raw. That's so bizarre. So would you just put them in like a salad or something? Or would that be like a snack that you would just have a couple of mushrooms? I find it a bit strange still. So I think we've lost a bit of liquid on here. I feel like we have. Either that or the veggies maybe cooked down a bit more. Are you a raw mushroom eater, Popcorn? Oh, it smells so good. Right, I'm going to try it very quickly just to see how it's going and try not burn myself. And it's got a nice colour. It's a bit steamy. Can't say I am. Wow. That's really tasty, but very gingery. What does it need? What does it need? Yeah, no, I definitely, I don't know. I mean, good on you if you eat raw mushroom. Not for me. Although now I'm saying that, I'm quite tempted just to try one, because I've literally never tried one raw. It definitely needs a bit of soy sauce. So let's add some more of that. And again, gluten-free soy sauce, very important. And tastes exactly the same as the regular stuff. I think it could do with a little bit more fish sauce as well. I didn't put a lot of any of these in to begin with because I wasn't too sure how much I would need of everything, so I've just added a bit more in to get a bit more flavour. And then obviously before we serve it, we're going to have our little kind of miso broth thing. That's possible. But that's entirely up to her. Yeah, so once we're, what's that? Oh, I thought I'd forgotten something, but it's the spring onions. Yeah, so once we're serving, we're gonna have the little, like, miso flavour thing. What's it called? a tari, I'm not sure what it's called, but one or the other, which is a new thing I just learnt about today. So I'm gonna give that a go. We're at, right, I'll do some carrot. I'm just looking to see if I've got anything else I could put in it. Right, what colour of carrot do we want? I have a peachy coloured one or a neon yellow. What do we reckon? Decisions. What else have we got in here? Cabbage. You wouldn't put cabbage in ramen, would you? I think that's a bit strange. Although, I feel like some chopped up. Someone should make marshmallow mushrooms. What, like marshmallow mushrooms? I'm sure you can get them somewhere. You can get marshmallow Santas, which is not the same thing, but you can get marshmallow Santas in IKEA at Christmas. Right. This one. Okay, so I'm going to grate some carrot for the top. Do we want... You can't even see that it's neon. Hold on. I'm going to wash them first and then you can see the colour of them properly. And we can pick one for garnish. That'll do. Right, so we've got, can you see the difference in colour? One is like peachy colour and one is neon yellow. What colour do we reckon for the garnish on top? To go with a brown soup. Bits of tofu, spring onion, coriander, mushrooms. I'm tempted by the peachy one. Although the neon yellow one is quite interesting as well. I hope it tastes okay, I'm slightly concerned. Half. Yeah, that's a good shout actually. A wee carrot salad. Just going to top and tail them. I just find that really... Do you see that? What? I've never ever seen a carrot like that. I know I'm going on, but I'm amazed by these. Right, I'm going to give them a bit more of a wash because they still seem a wee bit dirty. That's better. I'm just going to grate some of this now, and then this is just going to go on the top at the end, because obviously you don't need to cook it. Oh, that looks fun. I like the colours in there. Oh yeah, this is my favourite kind of carrot. I really like this. It looks really pretty. It's the little things. that for something else. This looks almost like cheese. Definitely going to get my hand today. The concentration required for that was ridiculous. Right, I'm going to pop these. In fact, I could put all of these in a bowl, couldn't I? If I had another big bowl. I've done it again. The dishwasher has not been on. I'm just going to pop all of these to the side. So look at that. How cool is that? Look at the colours. Hold on, I'm going to show you a close-up because I think that's really cool. And I clearly need to get out more, but I'm well impressed with them. Look how cool they are. You definitely can't see it properly, the colour on, because I've got the light up there. But I think that's really cool. As I said, it's the little things. Thanks for humouring me, Popcorn. I appreciate it. Oh, can you? Good. Oh yeah, of course. It's funny how different it looks on that camera to the other one. I'm just getting this all on a plate out my road. And then I'll pick some. Did you see that, Eileen? It looked pretty cool, didn't it? It does look a bit like vegan cheese, which is rotten. But yeah, that's what it looks like. That kind of fake cheese colour. Right, what else do we need to do? So we've got the stock on, we've got our tofu marinating, we've got our veg cut up. I don't have any more veg I can use. I've got some coriander to pick, so I'll maybe do that now. And then we have to get our noodles sorted, but that'll be right at the end. Oh, and there's a cat coming in to say hello. Wine break. I'm not sure I'm allowed a wine at the moment. I think it would, with the painkillers I'm taking, it would knock me out. You'd have to finish off the ramen on your own. Right. What makes sense to do next? I might even do, I think I'll do the tofu, just so that it's ready. Tofu, and I can probably do that at the end as well. Right, okay. Tofu next. Oil I have. And I'll switch cameras. Oh, for the love of God. That was a lot of oil. I hope you're okay. Right. I'll turn these round so you can see. You can see my pans. And you can see here, so I've got my tofu marinated just in some gluten-free soy sauce and some ginger. And I'm just going to very quickly kind of pan fry this to get it almost kind of crispy. And then it's going to sit on top of the ramen, a bit like kind of the slices of pork that you get, a bit like that. I've done this tofu in a stir fry before, and it was really, really tasty. So it's quite a handy one. Just you can make the tofu like that and serve it with whatever. You could do it with just veg or something as well. That is really good as well. And I mean, look at that stock. Can you see the colour of it? Not really on the wooden spoon, but we're getting a good colour out of it, and it's definitely reducing down. So I'll give it a wee bit longer, and then I'll try it again and see if there's anything that's missing. And then we'll drain all of the veg out. And I'll really pay attention, because I've done that before where I've thought, right, I need to keep the liquid, get rid of the veg, and I've done it the other way around, and all the liquid has gone down the drain, and I've thought, well, that was a waste of time. So I'm going to properly pay attention this time and do it properly, and not lose half of, well, all of my dinner. Now I've probably put too much oil in here. Should I take some out? Take a wee bit out, I think. I know, I hear you. Right, and that should be hot enough now. Yes, get a nice wee sizzle. And I said before, ideally I would have sliced these up slightly thinner, but I did that with a block of tofu last week or the week before, and then I fried it and all just fell apart. So I thought I'll leave it a wee bit chunkier, just to be on the safe side, so we don't end up with like a tofu scramble. Which, to be fair, is quite nice as well. I have done that before as well. Oh, the smell of that is just so good. I just love ginger. I'm just going to add all of this. I don't know what I'm faffing about for. And then I'll need some kind of tong action. There's just something nice about the smell of soy sauce. It just reminds me of, like, that smell just now just reminds me of fried rice. And I could go some fried rice just now, to be fair. So the goal of this one is just want to fry it off so that we start getting a bit of a kind of feel, or a bit of it almost crispy. It's not really crispy, but almost kind of crispy on each side. And I think we get that quite often from the soy sauce. So hopefully that's the aim. My noodles, I get my noodles out while we're waiting. And again, obviously, ramen noodles are quite a specific kind of noodle. I have not found any that are anywhere like it that are gluten-free. There was one company here that you could get for a while, and it was fish protein noodles. They smell horrific, but they actually tasted really nice, and the texture was really similar to like ramen noodles. But obviously they're not vegetarian, and I don't know what's happened to the company, but you can't buy them anymore. So I think the company must have gone bust or something, because it was just a small company. And apart from that, the latest one I've found are these, is it konjac noodles? Which are made from some kind of, is it a root veg, I think? And they taste quite nice as well, but they're a bit strange because they're almost clear and come in like a water packet. So they're a wee bit strange, but they're quite tasty. And the rest of the time, I just use rice noodles. So I've just got some brown rice noodles that I'm going to use. And there'll be, I mean, it's not ramen noodles, it's not nearly as nice, but it'll do. Have you managed to find any nice noodles, popcorn? That would interest me, because I find that noodles are definitely one that I struggle with being gluten-free. I don't mind rice noodles, I'm not the biggest fan, but I really like proper ramen noodles, wheat noodles. Obviously can't eat them anymore. But if you had any tips, that would be handy. Let's see how these are doing. So we're getting a wee bit of colour. Can you see that? It's definitely happening. Slowly but surely. I'm just going to turn them all over and they can cook on the other side, and then I can turn them over again. Get a bit more colour just because I'm impatient, really. Oh. That's a lot of information, Sophia. But I'm glad you got it sorted. And at least that way you only have to do it once. And you don't have to go back however many times. Oh, thank you very much. I'm quite pleased with it, I'm not going to lie. And it's taken a wee while to kind of to get it there. But yeah, it's just all about, my main kind of, what would you call it, mantra? Is it a mantra? I'm not sure it is a mantra. But my kind of thing is that I love food so much that I feel like no matter whether you've got an intolerance, or if you're a bit fussy and there's food you don't like, or you're on like a diet for ethical reasons or whatever it is, you should still be able to enjoy food. And there's food that everybody can enjoy. And it's just about experimenting a bit and trying to find the foods that you can enjoy and that do taste nice, and make like nice recipes and stuff with them. So that's kind of my thing, that I feel like everybody should enjoy food, because food is amazing. Mostly rice noodles. Yeah. And then at least I suppose with rice noodles you get the different, not shapes, but you get like the thin ones and the thicker ones and then the really thick ones. So that does mix it up a little bit. So it could be worse. Vietnamese place with gluten-free pho, which was confirmed the other day that I'm saying it right, that it is pho rather than pho. It's so good. I love a good pho. Although I do find that you get it and it's always such a huge bowl that by the end of it, I can't physically eat any more soup for the next month. Gluten-free Empire biscuits look amazing, thank you. Although I did have a bit of a disaster with the gluten-free Empire biscuits at one point. I made them once and I have no idea what went wrong, but they ended up almost like Parmesan crisps. So yeah, Parmesan crisps, no, they did not end well. But I've now got the recipe down, so if you use that recipe, they will work. Insane how people miss out on amazing vegan meals. That's what I think as well. Like at first, I think as well, like vegan. A lot of people think of vegan as well. You can only eat vegetables, but even vegetables, you could do so much with them. But there are so many other things that you can do, like with the tofu, or you can use, I think mushrooms are a really good one for vegans, because you can do so much with them, and they do have that kind of mushroomy, like meaty taste almost. Like when I did the KFC bucket last week, so I did a variety bucket and I had buffalo cauliflower bites, like KFC mushrooms and breaded tofu bites, and it was so good. Not to blow my own trumpet or anything, but it was really, really nice. And I think that's it. You just have to be a wee bit more, you have to kind of think outside the box, because I think there's not as many sort of standard vegan meals that you would kind of immediately think of. But if you do just do a wee bit of research, a bit bit of experimentation, then you can come up with some really, really nice stuff. And that's it. Things like pho or ramen and stuff, you don't actually need meat for it. You can use so many different veg and different things that it still tastes really, really nice. Sophia, was it you? Yes, that would make sense. Yeah, and that's what you want. You want to be able to use different foods to get different flavours. And if you want to mimic flavours, then you can find like other foods to try and mimic flavours. Purple coffins! My fellow Scott, how are you? How was your stream? Thank you very much for your raid. Sorry, I'm hiding. Hello! A place in my city called Peace Garden. Oh, that sounds cool. It's not hipster at all. It's been in business forever. Nice. Oh, that sounds amazing. And that's what, like, you can get proper good hearty meals that are vegan. So it is, I mean, that's it. I'm not vegan myself, but I do find that I eat quite a lot of vegan stuff, and I do feel better for eating vegan stuff. Thank you very much for your subscription, Vodwell 160, much appreciated, and I hope you enjoyed the wee clip. I'm so pleased with that I managed to do that myself. My stream is great, got to get stuff. Oh yes, Purple Coffins, I will be watching your stream tomorrow because, what is it you're making? Is it your chicken balmoral? I hope you're doing a sauce. Yeah, are you doing a sauce with it? Because I absolutely love balmoral chicken. Looks like it's going to be so tasty. Oh, whiskey sauce, yum. That's exactly what you want with a balmoral chicken, so I'll definitely be watching. So yes, thank you very much for the raid. Go and get organised, and I shall see you tomorrow. I just made a simple chicken salad with your herbs, and it's incredible. Oh good, I'm glad you're enjoying them. That makes me very happy. And if just while you're here, not to push it, but if anyone is interested, oh, I'm on the wrong one. The herbs that Jennifer is talking about is these ones here. So gluten-free, vegan, low FODMAP, good for people with IBS. On my website if you want to buy them, and they taste really, really nice. And as Jennifer said, you can stick them on a chicken salad and make it taste really nice. So that's that ad out the road. Yeah, that's it. I do think there's something a bit fresher and a bit lighter about vegan cooking sometimes. And if it's tasty, then I think, well, you're not missing out on anything, so why not? I think my tofu is just about there, and my cat's standing behind me again just to try and trip me up, which is really kind. I put on everything and it works, so die. Literally everything. Right, so for the people who've just joined, hello and welcome. I am another Scottish streamer, just like Purple Coffins. She's got a better accent than me though. It's much, much nicer. So today we're making a veggie ramen, which is here, which is bubbling away nicely. We've lost quite a lot of liquid, so I think I'm going to have to strain this off soon, or I'm going to have nothing left. We're doing some ginger and soy tofu, again, which is nearly there, so it's just been marinating. I've just broken a bit. It's been marinating for a wee bit, and then we're just frying it off to get a nice bit of colour in it. Yeah, and it's slightly firmer. And then we've got a plate of veggies to put on the top. And then I'm going to do some noodles, and then just start putting it all together. And thank you very much for your follows, Fluffy Sheep 20, very nice. And Magnus, I'm assuming Magnus that you are German. Would that be a correct assumption? I think I might have seen you in Purple Coffin stream actually before. Right, I think I'm going to put this up a little bit because it's not cooking quite as quickly as I would like, and I want a bit more colour on it. And I think I'm going to turn this down so that we don't lose all of our soup. But that's possibly, I think that must be about right, because in the recipes that I found it said to let it reduce by half, and I would say that's about half. because we started off with about 2.5 litres maybe. And nobody reminded me, I did manage myself, but cheers everyone. Oh, yum. This smells good. So yeah, so this, if you've just joined us, and I can't remember when I said this, but this is going to make like, because quite often with ramen you would get that sort of crispy pork on top, which I'm not a fan of because I find that so much of it is fat, and I really don't like meat fat unless it's really crispy. But if it's at all chewy, it's not for me. So this is a kind of like a vegan alternative, kind of. I mean, obviously the taste is going to be a bit different, but that's why I've cut it up into kind of these little strips to kind of imitate that. Just trying to get a bit of colour on it all. And then I can have a look at our noodles. See, you've now made me want to go to this Vietnamese place, popcorn. It sounds amazing. And you can't beat a restaurant run by a hippie. Okay. Let's try our soup and see if I need to add anything. And try and not get any of the onion skin. Oh, that's much better. The difference in taste with that now, and that's mad. I put them away, but I had a little jar of dried shiitake mushrooms. So these ones here, and I just put 5 of them in a bowl of boiling water for maybe about 20 minutes and chopped them up and put the mushrooms in and the water into the ramen soup. And the taste from that, it tastes like a meaty stock. Like if I didn't know there wasn't meat in that, I would think there was. Your shoes are just for me to want. I do apologise. Well, it must be lunchtime, so grab something to eat, and you can eat along with me cooking. That's always my problem as well, because basically my job is just taking pictures of food, looking at food. So yeah, I know your pain. I'm hungry all the time. I'm gonna wait and grab something. Right, no problem. Enjoy. I hope you get something nice. If you do manage it back for the end, I want to know what you get, because I love a bit of food envy. And if not, I'll probably see you later on. Good. Hopefully when it comes together, it'll be nice. And when it's finished, if you're not here at the end, I'll pop a picture on the Discord so you can see how it ended up. But go and enjoy your lunch, and I'll try and remember what I'm doing. Right, how do we want to do the noodles again? Okay, boil 1 litre of water and remove from the heat. For 2 people, soak 100 grams of noodles in the boiled water for 5 to 10 minutes and then drain and rinse. I think I can do that. I'm trying to think if I've ever had brown rice noodles. I'm not honestly too sure. I think it might just have been... It's normally white rice noodles I get, but I thought these seemed as though they might be slightly healthier. I think that's what they say, isn't it? That brown rice is healthier than white rice. So, I'm sure they'll taste just as nice. So I'm going to do about half of these. I'll get a little pot on them. Get a little pot out. Yes. So the Discord link will be here somewhere, and it's on my like Twitch page if you can't find it. Well, that's quite loud, sorry. Right, so I think I'm going to do about half of these. I'll move the camera over in a wee second because I don't think you can actually see anything I'm doing anymore. Yeah, I reckon that's enough for just now. And put the rest away. I'm going to try a tiny bit of the tofu just because it's roasting. It's roasting, but it looks quite nice. So it definitely has gone slightly crispy on the outside, and hopefully it'll be quite tasty now that it's got the soy sauce and stuff on. So it's gone kind of slightly crispy on the outside, but it's really soft in the middle. It reminds me of something, but I can't think what. It actually tastes a wee bit like chicken when you have it like that. And that soy sauce just gives it a really nice taste. Right. I'm going to stick our water in with our noodles and just leave them at the side to soak up. So apparently they need 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to stick a timer on my oven. Start with 5 and then we'll see from there. And then I'll switch these over and I'll try and... Right, my next thing was, so what I learned today was that I've basically been doing ramen wrong. So I've come up with a ramen recipe that's on my website, but it is a kind of quick and easy, throw it all in a pot. It tastes nice, it's not traditional or authentic in any way, shape or form. And I found out today that there's a thing called a tar or a tare, which is basically like an intense little bit of flavour that you put in the bottom of the bowl and then you add your stock on top of it. So we're going to try and make one of these and see how we go. So apparently, like one of the ways to do it, there are 3 or 4, I think, sort of traditional ways to do it. I can't honestly remember which one this is, but this is the one where they use miso paste. And I'm a big fan of miso paste. I think the taste of it's really, really nice. It adds a lot of flavour without actually having to do anything because you just buy the paste and fry it in. I've not got a huge amount of that left, and then I managed to find some of these in the shop today. I couldn't get any of my regular miso paste, so I'm hoping these are the same. They're quite, they're like, that's like a paste and that's very much liquidy, but I'm sure it'll be okay. So we're going to mix the miso paste with some mirin, some soy sauce or gluten-free tamari, and then a small bit of the stock. Mix it all together and then that'll go in the bottom of our bowls when we're ready to serve. And I'm sure there are other more authentic ways of doing this, but as I said, I literally learned about this today. And it was a bit of a kind of, right, let me see, how do I do this? Let's give it a bash. So I'm sure people will be able to give me tips on it, but I'm hoping this will be quite tasty. And as I said before, I think miso paste is a really good one if you like it like a miso soup, because it's so easy to make. You literally just have a quick stock with some miso paste, some chopped up tofu, some seaweed, that's the other thing, some like nori sheets cut up small, and then some spring onions. And it takes 5-10 minutes to make, and it's so tasty. I don't know how much of this I need. I'm tempted, so my wee jar's empty, but I'm tempted to add the little sachet anyway, because it's so liquidy that I might be able to kind of substitute that for some of the stock. Oh, it does look quite different. Still quite strong. So I think this one, can you see the difference? No. Can you see that? Just about. So that's the miso paste there, and then this I think has already been mixed with water. I've opened it now, so I'm going to use it. It might be slightly excessive, I might not need quite as much as this, but we're in too far now. And then some soy sauce. Not too much because the miso is quite strong, so I can't imagine we need a lot in it. I'll put a little bit in. And then some mirin, which is a sweet cooking seasoning and drives me up the wall. It's really good and it tastes good in a lot of stuff, but it's so sticky. The bottle gets so sticky and it just makes everything sticky, and then your fridge is sticky. Can you tell it's the bane of my life? Right, and then I'm going to give this a wee mix round. So it looks a bit suspect at the moment. I'm going to do this and then add a wee bit of the stock to get it more liquidy, so that it is a liquid rather than like a thin paste. Can you see that actually? Move my camera over a wee bit. So yeah, it doesn't look overly appetising at the moment. And then I'm just going to add a wee bit of our stock. If I can find my ladle, where is it? No, they need a bit longer. So I don't think you need to add a lot of the stock at all, so I've just added like a little spoonful. And I think, so normally if I'm using miso, I just put it straight into the soup, but apparently you're better to do it this way, to add the stock to it rather, because then you can make sure that it's more evenly distributed. I think that's the reason for it. I really probably should have looked at a picture of this. Right, hold on, I'm going to look at a photo so that I can see if it's going the way that we want it to. What was it? Tari ramen. Right, that is nothing like what mine looks like. I'm going to go with it. We're just going to stick with it. I'm going to put a little bit more liquid in because I feel like it's a little bit thick still. Sorry, that's really loud. The pictures that I've seen online look quite dark. I'm not sure why. I suppose it's maybe not the miso one. That would make sense actually. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. Right, I think that's better. And I mean, the thing is, you're just going to mix this in with the soup when you're eating it all together anyway, so. If anyone is in the chat, have you made like a tari before? And do we reckon that this is going to work? Or have I made a mess of it? It looks a bit like peanut butter. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so we're starting to get everything coming together. I think there are different kinds of tari. The black one is, black garlic tari. That would make sense. How do you get black garlic? Can you buy black garlic or do you have to do something with it? going to have another check because it was literally just the first, I think, 3 photos that I saw were all black. Tonkatsu ramen. That might be it then. Oh, I think you're right enough actually, Elaine. I think, because I've found one here. It's called, they don't call it tari, they call it secret sauce. That's what apparently it's a secret sauce. And so far I completely agree because I have no idea how to make it. But I think, oh no, that's the soup that I'm looking at. Do you know what? I'm just going to leave it where it is just now. And then it'll get mixed into the soup anyway. I'm going to check my noodles. They're still not quite there. Almost. Another minute or two. I like the secret sauce, yeah. It's a good name for it. Because it's not obvious how you make it at all. But, I mean, that smell is really strong. Do you know what it smells like? It actually smells like a whiskey sauce. And I don't know if that's just because we were just talking about whiskey sauces, but that's actually what it smells like. Interesting. Right, I think, hold on, where am I? So I've got my broth, I've got my tofu, I've got my veg, I've got my tari or whatever that's called. Right, I'll sort out the coriander, and then it's just a case of draining the broth. I'll maybe drain the broth first and then pop the mushrooms in to cook through just quickly. One of these days I'm going to bend down into this cupboard and literally not be able to get back up again. Right, I'm going to drain the stock first and try and remember to drain it the right way around so that I end up with the stock in a bowl and not down the sink. And I do speak from experience because I have done it before. And then it's not hot. Although, I mean, that definitely does not look like a lot of broth. So what was that? I think that was 2.5 litres I did. And it does say that you want it to boil down to about half. And I do think that's about what we got. But it doesn't seem like a lot of broth left. So I maybe needed to do a bit more, but there's a lot coming out of the veg, and I will show you in a second, but oh, you can't see me at all. Oh, no. Hang on. I'm hiding. I'll turn that off. Yeah, so there's definitely still a lot of liquid coming out of all the veg. So I'm going to just try and press out as much of the liquid as I can to make sure I've got as much soup as I can get, because otherwise I'm not going to get many portions out of this. But the difference in colour is incredible, because obviously we started off just with boiled water with all the veg and stuff in, and we now have a dark brown colour. So I'm quite pleased with that. I didn't think about this before I started. Hang on. I'm going to get a second bowl to catch any excess. See, if I thought things through before I did them, I'd probably get on a lot better. Okay, let's leave that there. Oh, if that's not going to fall over. We'll pop our broth back in our pot. Don't want that. Right, so you can see what's happened. Oh, for goodness. Tron. Hello, Tron. How are you today? Good evening. Thank you very much for your gifted subs. And welcome to, I need to think of like a channel name or like a family name. Thank you very much, Tron. That is much appreciated. And hope, right, I did promise you, Tron, that you would have your emotes. I would have thought today. They are there, but apparently they're awaiting approval. So as soon as they've been approved, you'll be able to use the emotes. But I'm really pleased with them. How are you today, Tron? Are you having a good Tuesday? And what time is it for you there? So you're Germany, aren't you? So it's 7:30, is that right? But I hope Tuesday has been good to you so far. And thank you very much again. Is that me? I think that's me at what my next subscriber goal. You're too good to me. That's it. That's what I was going to say, right? I've seen that a lot of streamers have like a family name. So I think I'm going to call you all my confetti clan, because clan's like a Scottish word for, I think it is family, isn't it? So yeah, welcome to the confetti clan. And I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope I can, a bit tired, but okay. Was it a hard day at work today? 7:30, yeah. I'm not too bad, thank you. Struggling a wee bit today, but I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm now just really hungry and really looking forward to my dinner. And then I think it'll be a quiet evening because it's fairly cold outside. It definitely feels like autumn. So yeah, a wee quiet evening in with a bowl of soup. So it could be much worse. Nothing to complain about. And that's what I was going to ask, did my little alert come up with the gifted subs? Because I did try and fix it, and it said that it was fixed, but I didn't hear it, but then I was at the sink, so I'm not sure if I just missed it. I'm not sure. And thank you very much for your follows, Dobocat. What a good name. We've got some really good names in here today. It's making me really happy. Oh, and after all that, I've forgotten about my noodles. Not to worry, they'll be fine. I'm just going to drain these really quickly and then I will be back with you. Whoa! I hope you didn't hear that, it was really loud. Yeah, so I've just drained in and then I'm going to set them in cold water to stop them cooking anymore. And then that'll stop them cooking. And then we can start putting everything together, I think. I think it was still the standard one. Oh, right, I'm going to work on that. Because to me it said it was fixed. Because I've got a fun little, I keep going to the wrong side, I've got a fun little clip that comes up when people subscribe. So hopefully I'll be able to get it fixed. So I don't know what the issue is because it did say it was working, but I'll have another wee look because it's quite good fun. Oh, thank you very much, Zobocat. That's very kind of you. Yes, I'm very lucky. It's a good kitchen. The only thing is it's quite a lot of space to clean, and I find that because I've got a lot of space, I make a lot of mess. But yeah, very, very lucky. Can't complain at all. And it's good for streaming. It works really well with a little bar set up. So, okay, so I think think I've got everything that I now want to start putting stuff together. Have I forgotten anything? I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll realise once I start plating it. Well, me too. I think that's it with cooking. Like, I could spend hours cooking and I'll spend probably the same amount of time cleaning up and doing dishes and stuff after. Oh, I've remembered what I need to do. I'm gonna pop... You're cleaning yours just now. Well, I hope I can accompany you in your cleaning. I'm gonna stick this back on just to get a bit more heat through it. And I'm gonna add in the mushrooms just because, as we discussed earlier, I know you can eat mushrooms raw. I find it a bit strange just because it's not how I'm used to eating mushrooms. So I'm gonna just pop them back in the broth just for a couple of minutes just to kind of start them off a little bit. And I've got an audience. I've got a cat staring at me through the window. So these are just little button mushrooms that I've just halved, and they're just going in here just now. And then on the plate I've got some of the most interesting carrots I've ever seen. And I've gone on about these carrots, but I really quite like the look of them. So that's just 2 grated carrots and some chopped up spring onions, and that's just going to go on the top with the rest of the bits. Ideally, I would have also done some radishes and some nori sheets, like, you know, the dried seaweed. Couldn't get any of them at the shops today, so this is what we're going to go with. But obviously, if you could get, or pak choy, they had no pak choy either. So if you can get that stuff, you can add that in. You could add like bean sprouts, you could add different veg if you wanted it. It's quite flexible. I mean, I'm sure there is like a traditional kind of, what's the word? A traditional like route to take. Is that right? That sounds bizarre. A traditional way of doing things and a traditional way of like what food to use and what veg to use to put in it. Is there a good selection of Asian foods where you are? There normally is, yeah. We're normally quite lucky. There's not that much that I don't think we can get. We've got a couple of, so basically I'm based just outside Glasgow in Scotland, and we've got quite a good sized Asian supermarket that's maybe about 20 minutes from here. It's not one that I go to a lot because I do find that any of the Asian food that I'm looking for I can get just in like our big supermarkets, which are 5 minutes from here. But you know that if there is anything a bit more specialised, you'll probably be able to get it there. So there's nothing really that I ever struggle to get unless I just go to the little shop up the road and leave things a bit late. But this should be enough. We'll be fine. It'll be absolutely plenty. Okay, so I'm going to start plating up. So I'll switch over my screens so you can see my bowl here. So the first thing I'm going to add is, this is the tare, I think it's called. I don't know if this is how it's supposed to look. I only discovered that this was a thing about 3 hours ago. So I've tried to make it. It smells nice. And basically what you do is, this is miso paste with soy sauce and some mirin and a little bit of the broth. And apparently you put some of this in the bottom of your bowl to kind of start things off. You really want to. Where are you from, Zobocat? And I would recommend Glasgow. I mean, a lot of people say you should go to Edinburgh. And Edinburgh is good if you are, like, if you want to see sort of touristy things and nice buildings and stuff. But I think the people, I'm sure I'll start some fights on here, but the people I would say in Glasgow are nicer. And the shopping's better. And it's just more, I would say it's a more realistic view of Scotland rather than Edinburgh. Yeah, the tare is kind of thick and salty. Oh, so that's what mine is. So hopefully I've done it right. NY slice, you sound Scottish, that's because I am. So yeah, just outside Glasgow. So it's quite a specific accent. Los Angeles, oh night, that's somewhere I'd really like to go and see. It's definitely on my list. Can add a wee bit more. Ever made it to Scotland, ever go over? Yeah, that's it. You would need to do like a tour around all the different places because there's so many really, really nice places. And I find that even though I've lived here almost all of my life, there's still a lot of places in Scotland that I haven't been to and I would love to go and see. But I think as well you kind of take it for granted if that's where you live. You think, well, I'll go there someday, and then you never actually do it. So I think I'm going to put together a list of the places I'd like to go and just start kind of ticking them off so that I actually do experience some different places. I'm going to check here and see if we've got any more. Oh, we've got a little bit. I have an interesting story about Glasgow. Do we want to hear the interesting story? I'm slightly concerned. If it's not rude, you can tell your story. If it's rude, maybe DM me just. Right, so now is the time for, or is it the noodles first? No, I think it's the stock first, or the broth rather. So we've got our broth with our mushrooms. There's a place in Glasgow called NY Slice. That's what I was thinking. As soon as I saw your name, I thought, I'm sure there's I think it's a pizzeria. I can't even think where it is, but I can picture the sign for it. Okay, I think that'll do for the moment. And then we'll add our... Been fighting any alligators? Right, NY Slice, where are you from? That there's alligators that you're fighting with? Ah, Sultan, how are you? Good evening, happy Tuesday. How are you doing? Balls of a lass there who you'll never meet? Who you'll never meet? Is she in Glasgow as well? Where's my noodles? Right, so my noodles stopped cooking. I did forget about them for a bit because I was too busy doing other things, but hopefully we caught them in time that they're not too well cooked. Oh, they wanted to buy your name. That's funny. Did they want to buy your name on Twitch? Because that would surprise me if they were on Twitch. But you never know, I suppose. You caught a gator. Right, I feel like you need to share the story behind the gator. Where was the gator and where were you? And did you catch it deliberately, or was it like a gator attack that you managed to stop? But either way, I'm very intrigued. Right, so apparently this is what we want to do here. Can you tell I was watching ramen videos earlier? Okay, so we've got all of those bits together. And then I'm just going to start topping it. So we've got some of our nice grated radioactive looking carrot. And then some of our soy and ginger tofu. And I'm going to try and get some nice looking pieces. To just kind of spread on the top. Ah, Instagram, that makes sense. I was gonna say, because I can't imagine they would be on Twitch. That's funny though. But yeah, I think I don't think I've ever been to it because I don't think they do gluten-free, but I definitely know where it is. Here's the gator story, right? I'm excited for this. Premier 316. Nice to have you here. Hope you're doing well this dark autumn-like Tuesday. We're all on tenterhooks with the gator. The gator ate all the ducks. Was it your ducks? Oh, that's awful. I don't think. Oh no. And then it was the little doggies. Good. Where was the gator that was eating all the animals? That's awful. I'm glad you fought it then. Not the doggies. I know. Not the ducks either though. I like ducks. I'm glad you fought it then, because that's not on. I mean, who does the gator think he is? No bait, just a hook. Oh my god. That's impressive. But good for you, because I think, well, I know if it was me, I'd be far too scared. But the gator clearly needed to be stopped. Oh, I'd have freaked out. I really would have. That's mad. And that's not in New York, was it? When you're NY Slice, where was the gator? I don't even know where you really get gators. I definitely don't think you get them here. Or do you? If anyone is Scottish in the chat and knows of gators here anywhere, do let me know and I'll stay away. That's mental. Is that a real thing? So you were hired to go and kill the alligator? And is that a bounty kill? I thought that was just if you, like, what's that film? The Bounty Hunter? I thought that was just if you were hired to kill. I'm so overwhelmed by this story right now. I don't know if you can tell, but this is just madness. That is not something you would ever hear of in Scotland. Ah, yes. Yeah, that could have been dangerous. Could you imagine? Although then you could have gone a bit like Go-Go Gadget and had got like knives and stuff on your hands rather than your fingers. Just a Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, but I think that's the thing, it hides more than attacks, so I think we should be okay. Florida, right, okay. I was going to say it needs to be somewhere with water, presumably. But yeah, I don't have enough houses. So is this just one place? That's madness. No, that would not be me, but well done for saving the doggies from the gator. That's mad. That's a good story though, I like that. I like it when people have like a good story they can tell folk. I don't think I have one of them. I'd need to go and attack a gator. But you're from NY, that makes sense. A slice of NY in Florida. Nice. I still feel like I'm trying to take in that story. That's mad though. That's mad. Well, I managed to put this together. I don't know if you can hear that, but my cat is battering the door. Hold on. What is it? Come on. She's at the wind up. New York, we also catch sharks. Oh my god. So Steve Irwin over here. and cook them. I've actually tried shark once, but it was a long time ago, and I don't think I enjoyed it. It was at a Mongolian restaurant in Glasgow, and it was a Mongolian barbecue place, and you went up and they had like 12 different kinds of meats and fish and stuff, and you just went up and said, right, I'll have one of them, and then you could pick noodles or rice and then all the veg, and then they would cook it for you in front of you, and you got to try all these really random different meats and fishes. So I thought that shark would taste, because I like monkfish and stuff, and I thought maybe shark will be similar to that, but it's not something I would do again. It was a long time ago. I'm over that, trying weird things, but if you enjoy it, then food looks fab. Thank you very much. So while we're chatting about gators and doggies and sharks and all sorts, I've managed to put together our bowl. So I would say it looks pretty good now, actually. Can I get hold on, I'll see if I can get a proper. There we go. So we've got is that flickering? I think it might be. But we've got our ginger and soy tofu. Our broth with the mushrooms in, plus the miso tari or tar at the bottom. Our grated carrots, some spring onions and some coriander, and our brown rice noodles. So I'm just going to take a couple of pictures of this, and then it's going to be time for me to go and eat, because I'm starving and I'm really looking forward to this. Try and get a bit of space. Love the Scottish accent. Thank you very much. That's what's quite nice about being on here. People actually appreciate my accent. I'm not a big fan, but can't eat onions. Oh, me neither. Thank you very much for your follow, Can't Eat Onions. And if you can't eat onions because you have IBS, I fully understand your struggle. I can't see what these wee emojis are. Wee people. Right, I'm going to take a couple of pictures. And while I'm doing this, you have to cut them right away. See, that would put me off my dinner in my slice. Thanks. That's me, I'm not hungry anymore. IBS sufferers unite. Yeah, we should make a club. Definitely. I fully understand your pain. I'll get my chopsticks on. How are we all tonight? Or this morning, or whatever time it is where you are? And while I'm doing this, if anyone knows of, let me hear that's going right in my eye. I can't see where it is. If anyone knows of anyone we could raid, then please do pop your suggestions in the chat and we can find somebody to raid. I'm a cook maybe. Well, that's it. I mean, I do love food, so I'd definitely be up for trying it. Right, I think that's enough pictures for just now. You got to get the pictures for the Instagram and the Discord. Right, does anyone have any suggestions for a raid? And we'll do that now, and then you can join them and continue hopefully watching some food. I'll stick about for a bit and then I'm going to go and eat. So if anyone has a suggestion, let me know. If not, I'll have a wee look and see. Mom Noms. What a good name. That's a brilliant name. I don't think I've got Mom Noms. I've got John Reed, Chef John. I've raided him a couple of times. So maybe we should have a wee look at Mom Noms. I eat like a bird but drink like a fish. I like that saying, that's good. Right, let me see quickly. My laptop is definitely not loving life at the moment. I think it was about to blow up earlier when I was trying to start the stream, but we got here eventually. Hey, right, where are we? Let's see, let's see, let's see. Hey, what's Mom Nom's making? I think I'm on the wrong one. I will get good at this raiding thing eventually, I promise. Mom Noms. Why is that not showing for me? Mom Noms. Oh, there we are. I think I must have spelled something wrong. Pumpkin spice cookies, that sounds good to me. There we go. So you get your main course here and you can go and get your dessert at Mom Nom's. So I'm gonna say Cheerio first because I always raid too quickly and then I'm in the middle of my wee spiel saying Cheerio and then you've all disappeared anyways. So I'm gonna say Cheerio just now. Thank you very much for joining me while I made my dinner. I hope you enjoyed. If you try to make a ramen, kind of like I kind of threw mine together, do let me know. Pop a wee picture in my Discord. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you too. I hope to see you again soon. I will be streaming again tomorrow at 4 o'clock. What am I making? Oh, yes. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to try and... Oh dear. That's not ideal. I don't know what that is about then. That's a bit strange. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to try and make, for the very first time, I'm going to try and make pasta from scratch. So if you want to see what could be a potential fail, do come along and you can see how I get on. But we're going to go and raid Mom Noms now, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Tuesday or your Monday or whatever day it is, wherever you are. And I hope to all see you again tomorrow. So let me just, Mom Nom, I need to get this right, Mom Noms. And do hang about for a wee minute and show some love if I could get this to work. Nope, wrong one. Let's feel, yeah, that's it. There's other people you can watch. They can come and watch me rather. Fabulous. Yeah, I realised that after I typed. I was like, that's not right. I've got it now, so let's all go over and say hello to Mom Noms, and I'll hopefully see you all tomorrow. Happy Tuesday. Bye. Oh, give it a minute. Oh, it's going, it's going. Right, we're ready. Bye.
Hair. Swish, swish. Copper confetti! Thank you for the raid! Hey, guys! Hello! Welcome into my stream. My name is Mom Noms. I'm a professional chef. I am making pumpkin spice cookies with a cream cheese kind of filling in it. You don't have... Welcome! Thank you for joining the team. You don't have absolute favorites? I do. I have... Okay, matcha desserts. Chloe got me hooked to those when I lived in San Francisco. Raid! I don't have my, like, where's my thing? Hello, welcome in. How are you guys? How you guys doing? How you doing? Zobo Cat. Hi, I know that face. I have to, like, go in and we're gonna do, oh no. I was clicking using someone else's icons. Boom. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, we're making pumpkin spice cookies, you guys. What did you do on Strim today? Strim. We already have some made. Let me grab them for you. We're making them in our air fryer, actually. Because you gotta do what you gotta do. Welcome in, thank you for that follow. Okay, let me throw this in real quick. And we're talking about fall food. And I asked the question, what do you guys like to eat? This is our first batch. We have chocolate chip cookies with a pumpkin spice. And let me find the one that actually had the white so you can see the cream cheese. Here it is. This one you can actually see the cream cheese. Welcome to the kitchen. And it has a cream cheese, little bit of a filling in there, a little bit of sea salt on top. How are you guys doing? How you guys doing? We have 1 million and I can only cook like 5 at a time. So most of these are gonna be frozen. What did you do on Strim today? And the question is, for some reason, this mic keeps sucking through batteries, and I have no idea because it's usually not like this. It did. It cut out. It hates me. It's went through like 2 sets of batteries, and I have no idea what's going on. If you could send me over one for dessert, that would be ideal. I will. I'll send it over. It's not vegan, though. Are you vegan? It's got cream cheese. I could make them vegan with the Miyoko's cream cheese. My friend from San Francisco just sent me one of her cookbooks. And it's all vegan desserts. I'm ready to tear into it. I'm like so ready to tear into it. What food do you think of when you think fall? Like I know for me it's soup. Like I've always been a soup person, and we're kind of making our own trends because there's no trends up right now. COVID said no. COVID said no. So we don't have any trends that are in the food publications at this point, but for fall, for this year, for 2020 fall, we need comfort food. Cinnamon and apple. I didn't think about apple. A baked apple with cinnamon and a little bit of cream. Oh, that sounds really nice. I did make that, it's over on, I think it's on my TikTok, but I know it's on my Instagram Reels. The Gillette, the apple blackberry Gillette I made. Oh, so good. And I just kind of want to see like what people are posting right now as far as what are you posting? Are you still, today is technically the first day of fall. And I know all of us want to get there because, you know, the closer to fall we get, the closer to 2021 we get. So I wanted to see if people are actually starting to post some fall type recipes instead of, like, that is definitely a mango lassi ice. I would eat that. I would eat that so hard all the time. Pineapple and toasted coconut s'mores. What? Okay. Let's look at their weekly meal plan this week. I just want to see if they're getting into the fall season. Is that a chowder? Ooh. Preserve the summer menu. So it's like half the people, I I'm seeing that do food stuff are like, yes, summer. We're still in it. Let's keep doing summer. And then half the people are like, it has to be fall. It has to be fall, man. I don't know what this music is, but it's getting me in the mood. I am already part of this. Ooh, persimmon. Oh, I love persimmon. I love fall root vegetables. Yes. Oh my gosh, I have something to tell you about root vegetables in a second. Baking sweets, using the oven, like roasting meats and vegetables, and pomegranate. Oh my God, persimmon. I've been craving more Asian flavors, Chloe, because like since I moved from San Francisco, like here there's not a bunch of Asian. Like, gotta go. Thanks for answering my questions. No problem. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Hearts and stuff. Go and have a good day. Go and have a good day. There's not Nashville, believe it or not, Nashville does not have a great Asian food population. There's this one place called Steam Boys, and they do steamed buns, but they're nasty, and they made me sick the last time I went. They're just not. They're too westernized. They're way too westernized. Come here. I know. I should. I need to visit, but COVID. I can't visit. It's COVID. I don't know what Braden called it. He called it some weird season. Oh, root vegetables. Okay, Zobo. My friend is doing he's an artist, and he's doing an art exhibit. And it's basically going to be like a pop-up kitchen for parsnips. For parsnips. And everything is going to be based around parsnips. And like, I'm so excited about this because like that sounds, to me, I like parsnips and turnips and things like that. Okay, bye-bye. I'm just going to throw everything down. But I'm like really excited to see what he's working on, because he's not a chef. He's definitely just like a food enthusiast. And is like, this door keeps opening. He's a food enthusiast and he's an artist, and so he's gonna make like a parsnip truck, and it makes me think of Animal Crossing and the Turnip Lady so much. But he sous vide parsnip the other day and then let it cool down, like Evan in an ice bath, and then he breaded it and then did a pan fry on it. Oh my gosh, I want to try it so bad. I'm like insanely excited about someone else's food right now. But you should come too. Playgrounds are open and you get it to yourself. What? Oh, on these you can definitely see that there's more cream cheese. You can see the cream cheese swirl. I'm so excited. All right, we're gonna add these to the plate, and then we're gonna do one more, I think. We're gonna do one more bake, and then one more set, and then we're going to freeze the rest, because oh my God, I have so much dough. Like I said, I'm doing these in the Instant Pot Vortex air fryer. You can do them in a regular air fryer too, and they take 6 minutes. 6 minutes. It's not that bad. Look at all of these cookies. Cookie time. Doing my food dance. I think I'm gonna take pictures of these and post them. Oh my God, this door won't stop opening. Dear Grandma, ghosty Grandma, we don't want you in here. Stay out of the streaming kitchen, ghost. Stay out. Yeah, it's interesting. He's kind of taking this idea of doing like a early America dinner out of it. So like serving it with lamb in a deep lamb